Pokai Bay was originally named Mala'ea, meaning calm or serene. Mala'ea shelters the sandy beach of Neneu and the site of the temple called Ku'ili'oloa Heiau at Kane'ilio Point, dedicated to a dog, kupua, or spirit. Rites performed at the heiau protected those traveling by land and sea. At the north end of the bay is Kaupuni Stream, the spawning ground of anai, mullet, which gave Waianae, mullet waters, its name. The village, Pokai, famous for its coconut grove, once lay near the stream. Aloha and welcome to Kane'ilio Heiau. We are in Waianae, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu, and it's actually a rainy day today. We have a storm coming in, but I'm going to show you a very important cultural site. It was a navigational heiau, and a heiau is a spiritual structure used by ancient Hawaiians to make offerings and perform the various rites of the Kapu culture. It is also a very popular area for boating, swimming, and the ancient Hawaiians even surfed here. It was a very famous spot. So I'm just going to give you a little panorama of Kane'ilio Point, which is where the heiau is located. I also wanted to mention that the word Kane'ilio in Hawaiian means man-dog. So this heiau, while it is also a navigational heiau, was dedicated to a demigod that was supposedly half man and half dog. You'll find many petroglyphs and symbols of this demigod up and down our coast. As you can see from this point where the heiau begins, there's a great view down the coast, and each of these headlands that you see on the other end also have heiaus on them, because everyone has a different spiritual purpose. Now I'm going to take you into the heiau walls. As you can see here, that structure up there is the actual heiau itself. Heiau is spelled H-E-I-A-U. This is a tree that's very important to Hawaiian culture. It's called Lauhala, L-A-U-H-A-L-A. I believe it's also called a pandanus, but this tree was used to make mats in which they used the leaves, and then the fruit that this tree produces was also used to make many crafts and also used for art. Many of the kids in Hawaii use the fruit of this tree for little paintbrushes. As you can see here, there are many platforms. I believe this heiau dates back to around the 1300s. And there's various stages of construction. And actually during World War II, the military had cannons mounted here, and they actually built a bunker on top of the heiau. In modern times, the heiau is constantly being restored. There's lots of groups that maintain this. And as you can see, lots of visitors, and it's a very nice place to look at the coast. This is the view from the top of the heiau, and you can see all the various platforms. Each of these platforms had a different spiritual purpose in ancient times. Some of them were used for sacrifices, some of them were used for offerings. This heiau, I believe, was more just used for offerings, and it was also used as a lookout because it was a very strategic point. The people of this area had sentries here. They could see anyone coming from far away and warn the village, because in ancient times Hawaiians lived a warrior culture and there was often unrest, and this was a very coveted area because of the bay. So people often came here to do battle with the locals. I also wanted to mention that the name of this bay right here was originally Malaea. And this bay is also the reason that Waianae has its name. Waianae means mullet waters. And there's a stream over here in which a multitude of mullets would come out, and all the people would net them up and catch them and eat them. And it fed the entire region, and they would dry fish on the shore. And it was a very nice area. Also, later on, a chief came here from Tahiti. As you know, many of the ancient Hawaiians are said to come from the Marquesas, and later the Tahitians came over here and made themselves the chiefs. And a chief from Tahiti came here, and his name was Pokai. P-O-K-A Hokina-I. And he is known for improving the area. He saw that this was a good area, a good port, and he planted many coconuts which were actually brought from Tahiti. So if you look over here, you can see this coconut grove, and that coconut grove is said to be started by the chief Pokai from Tahiti, and I believe that was around the 1400s. Some of the coconuts are descended from the original coconuts brought from Tahiti.